Hey everyone, and welcome to Yoga with Rachel. In today's yoga class, we explore pelvic floor exercises. For our class today, I invite you to bring along a foam yoga block as it is both soft and firm. You can also bring along with you couch cushions or even a hardcover book, just in case a yoga block is not available. All right, let's get started. All right, friends, let's begin our practice on our backs. Once you are there, walk your feet in. Feet are roughly hip distance apart. Knees point towards the sky. Take a moment to get settled here. This could mean relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, perhaps tucking in the chin slightly to lengthen through the back of the neck. Place your hands on your belly. Breathe in and then breathe out. We are going to play around with directional breathing, sending breath down to our bellies or down to where our hands are resting. Breathe in, send the breath down to your hands, and then slow breath out. It is okay if the breath is up in the shoulders or in the chest. Directional breathing does take practice, so I invite you to think kind and loving thoughts as you explore. All right, breathe in, sending the breath down, down, down to the hands, and then breathe out. Continue this directional breathing. So the pelvic floor is connected to the diaphragm. This means that it is connected to our breath cycles, which is why we are starting with this today. As you breathe in, the diaphragm and the pelvic floor opens and softens. It may feel like it's dropping or a dropping sensation. On the exhale, the diaphragm and the pelvic floor muscles lift. I invite you to have this visual or sensation in your mind as you move today. There may be moments where you are thinking, am I doing this right? It can be very tricky as we cannot see this part of our body. So I invite you to trust in the process, explore, and perhaps learn something new about yourself today. I encourage you to keep your breath flowing as we get moving. Let's start off with some gentle movement. You can keep your hands on your belly or place your hands at your sides, your choice. We are beginning with pelvic tilting. I invite you to arch through the back body so the low back is lifted away from the mat. Perhaps you can even place your hand between the mat and your low back. Now rock the pelvis forward, hip points shine towards the face. The low back is now flush to the mat. Keep this pelvic tilting action going. One important thing to keep in mind, we are doing our best not to engage the legs as we do this movement, as it may be tempting to activate the muscles in the legs. We are just tilting the pelvis. Beautiful. Great work, everyone. If you have a yoga block or a book, place it between your thighs. If you do not have one, I invite you to use your imagination. Now rock your pelvis forward so that the low back is flush to the mat. Now squeeze your item with your thighs. For 3, 2, 1, relax. A kind reminder to keep that breath flowing even as we squeeze the item. Squeeze for 3, 2, 1, relax. 2 more times. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1, relax. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1, relax. Now keep that item between your thighs, gently squeezing that item. Arms rest at your sides if they are not already there. Breathe in to lift the hips towards the sky, keeping the bridge nice and low today. Perhaps feeling a lovely stretch in the hip flexors, building strength in the legs, the glutes, and the back body. Breathe out to slowly lower back down to the earth. Breathe in, hips go to the sky. Visualize sending the breath down to the belly and then down to the base of your spine. And then breathe out to lower. Breathe in, hips make their way to the sky. And then breathe out to lower and release. Lovely work. Place your item off to the side for a moment. Stack your knees over your hip points. Place your hands on your knees. Take your knees in a circle one way, gently massaging the low back body. And then take your circle the other way. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Take a moment here to give yourself a big hug, showing love and gratitude for your body. All right, rock the knees over to one side. The bottom hand can be used as a pillow for the side of your head. Just hang out here for a moment in fetal position. Use the top hand to help you sit up. Come to a seat on your mat. When you arrive there, bring the soles of your feet together, the knees fall open, ground down through the knees, and lift up through the pelvic floor to help you sit up a little taller. This is just an intention. Hands rest on your ankles. Again, I invite you to continue that directional breath, sending breath down to your belly and then perhaps to the base of your spine. Let's take 3 loving breath cycles here. Breathe in, and then a slow breath out through the nose. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Wonderful. Close your legs and let's make our way to all fours. Walk your wrists under the shoulders and the knees underneath the hip points. Press into the tops of your feet, spread through your fingers, and rock your pelvis forward, just as we did at the very beginning of our practice, creating length in the low back body. 1 breath cycle here in tabletop position. On the next breath in, reach your tailbone to the sky, arching through the back body as the belly sinks closer towards the earth. Look forward. Exhale to tuck the tailbone under, spine rounds, crown of the head reaches towards the earth. 2 more rounds. Breathe in to cow pose. Breathe out to find your cat. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in to find a neutral spine. We are going to be on our hands a little bit longer, so feel free to make some fists and plant your fists on the mat. You can also fold your yoga mat over to pad the knees. Step the right foot back, toes rest near the back edge of the mat. Breathe in, and then breathe out to lift the right foot away from the mat, pressing into the top of the left foot to keep you stable here. Point the toes down towards the mat, heel is roughly at hip level. Breathe in, and then breathe out to reach the left hand forward. Hug the belly button towards the spine, look directly down at your mat. Breathe in, and then breathe out to lower back to all fours. Step the left foot back, breathe in, and then breathe out to lift the left foot away from the mat, toes dial down. Breathe in, and breathe out to reach the right hand forward. You got this. Breathe in, and breathe out to come back to all fours. Walk your hands to the long edges of your mat, curl the toes under, lift one knee away from the earth, followed by the other, hovering here. Breathe in, and breathe out to send the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Bend your knees. You can visualize sending breath to the base of your spine on the inhale, and then on the exhale, sending the breath in the opposite direction to your fingertips. We are here for 3 breath cycles. Walk your hands back towards your feet, where we eventually meet in a forward fold. Right away, begin to roll up through your spine. We meet together in mountain pose. Feet hip distance apart, toes pointing forward, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky. Rock your pelvis forward, tucking the tailbone under. If you have an item with you, place that item between your thighs. Engage your inner thighs and try to lift the yoga block upwards. If you do not have one, play around with feeling your thighs spiral backwards. Arms rest at your sides. Breathe and explore here. Maybe close your eyes to help you go inward. It may not look like much is happening here, but perhaps you feel some work being done in the pelvic floor. It is okay if that is not the case. Our experiences on the mat are unique to each of us. Great. Keep that item between your thighs. Begin to sit back into an imaginary chair. Knees trace over the feet. Weight is in the hips and the heels. Tailbone lengthens down and towards the floor. Breathe in to reach your hands forward, palms facing one another. If you are not using an item, the knees may want to spill in, so do your best to keep them in line with the feet. No worries about how low you get in chair pose. Just breathe, explore, and stay curious. Breathe in, and then breathe out to rise up. Place your item off to the side. Walk to the middle of the mat. Breathe in to send the hands to the sky. Breathe out to hinge forward at the hips, forward fold. Plant your palms and then step your right foot back, followed by the left foot, making your way to a high plank. Press away from your yoga mat. Breathe in, and then breathe out to lower the knees to the earth. Swing the legs off to one side, and then come to a seat on your mat. And we are going to come to lay on our backs once again. Once you are there, stack your knees over your hips. Bend at your knees so that way there's roughly a 90-degree angle at the backs of your knees. Shins are parallel to the sky. Scoop the tailbone up. In other words, rock your pelvis forward to feel the low back connect to the mat. Slowly open your knees off to the sides and then close the knees, stacking the knees over the hip points once again. 5 more rounds. Open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. Release your feet to the earth. Bring the soles of your feet together and allow the knees to fall open. Feel free to make use of couch cushions or yoga blocks here. You can place those items under the legs for support. If this is not jiving with you, send the legs out long. Bring your hands to your belly once again. I invite you to play around with that directional breath, sending breath down to the pelvic floor, noticing what happens on the inhale, and then noticing what happens on the exhale. Feel free to close your eyes. We are here for 5 breath cycles. Send both legs out long. Feet move to the long edges of the mat and allow the feet to relax and fall open. You can rest your hands on your belly still, or you can place your hands at your sides, your choice. Slow breath in through your nose, and then a slow exhale out through the nose. It is my hope that you found today's practice helpful. Feel free to return to this practice for some pelvic floor exercises. Remember, everything is connected, so even though we cannot see the pelvic floor, it is still an important part of our body, which is why we are tending to that area today. Thank you so very much for being here. Like and share this video with others. Subscribe to the channel to support free yoga and wellness content. Sending lots of love and positivity your way. Namaste.